and welcome to Third Act Film. Here with me is Todd James.
Hello.
I'm James Forbes.
Hello, James.
And we're here for one thing and one thing only. To discuss X-Men Apocalypse. I don't know why that was funny, but we're laughing already.
Great stuff.
And to be honest, general review is positive from both of us.
I absolutely loved it.
Todd, I'm pointing at him and saying
Yeah.
but Todd is incredibly...
Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
has been a big X-Men fan.
True.
Me, however, I like X-Men. I'm kind of more associated with the fighting games, weirdly enough. That's kind of how I learnt the lore.
And the TV show.
And the TV show, yeah. But, yeah. However, me, I'm a bit critical on certain scenes, but overall, well done.
Yeah, good
well
job.
done. A nice end to this kind of new trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
We've got with First Class and Days of Future Past.
Yeah. Which is definitely going to continue.
Yeah, definitely going to continue, yeah. Speaking of continuing...
Before we say anything else, should I just go right ahead?
Go for it.
I think it's going to say it in the title for this, but full spoiler discussion. So we're going to be discussing everything that happens in the film.
Yeah.
From now on, if you haven't clicked away, it's your own fault.
And we're going to be
you.
discussing some rumours that have been proposed for future
Yes.
sequels, yeah. And just, what's going to happen with the X-Men?
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four, like...
That might come up at the end.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
All right, let's begin. Let's begin with your opinions on Mystique.
Oh, an interesting place to start.
Yeah.
I really liked her. I know there were some people going in saying they thought Jennifer Lawrence wasn't going to bring it fully. I think you said that even after watching it. You thought she not necessarily phoned it in, but she could have been a bit better. I thought she was good. I liked the way they explained why Mystique wasn't in Blueface.
Yeah.
And it did make sense. To me, I wouldn't have even thought, it's because Jennifer Lawrence doesn't want to do it. I thought they explained it well. I liked that they only did the one switch up of you thinking it was somebody else and it ended up being her.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you might have been thinking about it every time. The fact that they only did it once meant that it was a real surprise.
Well, they kind of did it twice. I guess it's foreshadowing at the beginning when she transforms into a guy and says, "He went that way."
True. Yeah, but that was more just to show the power.
Yeah.
The one thing we didn't get was a fight scene with Mystique.
Yeah,
And
it did kind of throw me when she's she's kind of scantily clad and she's walking into this weird mutant fight club,
like Nazi,
a lot
yeah.
of Nazi thing, people wearing like the hats and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that's not acceptable,
Yeah.
regardless of it being mutant or whatever. And then she walks in and she sees this big guy with a gun, and she just like elbows him. I was like,
oh yeah, but
she's Mystique? Why didn't she just transform into another guy and say, "Yeah, I'm taking over the shift"? Or,
Helmut, I'm taking over your shift.
yeah. So she just elbows him, and she manages to knock out. I don't know. Does Mystique have extra strength in this world?
I don't know about that, but
discussed.
she's like an incredibly skilled fighter, and you see that in pretty much every X-Men film she's been in. She is really good. She has like a cool fight scene, but in this, actually thinking about it, she doesn't really fight anyone apart from knocking that one guy out.
yeah, just like straight out. Let's begin. Knockout. Yeah. I thought, like you said, I thought Jennifer Lawrence possibly called us in a bit. I don't know, mainly from the interviews and mainly from discussions surrounding it. I get the feeling that it's very tiring having to get up so early to put on all the makeup and everything, and then once you've done that, do a like an hour's worth of shooting and then have to wash it all off again, kind of thing. That must get really frustrating, and I can totally understand that. But it just even with her normal scenes, I felt she was just like, all right, I have to do this, paycheck, okay, go.
I think you're being a little bit hard. I think you might have gone in preconceived thinking that.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, perfect.
Sophie Turner.
I have never been a fan of Sophie Turner. I've only ever seen her in Game of Thrones, to be fair.
I see what you do. Go on.
But in this, I was really completely blown away by her. She had like her accent was great.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I'm not American, obviously, so there might be American people saying, "What the hell was wrong with her voice?" But, I like what they set up with Jean Grey. What they very unsubtly set up with Jean Grey.
Hint, hint. Phoenix Force.
Hint, hint. We did this wrong before.
Yeah.
Let's get it right this time. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I thought she was. It really all came together at the end.
Mm-hmm.
The only kind of issues I had was with her motivations. Now I can see part of it being that she had that nightmare of the end of the world, and she can see, oh, this is bad, this is really bad. But she didn't have any personal stakes, and we never got. I know we all hate Origins all of a sudden with a lot of modern films, and
Right,
everyone's like, oh, not another one. But we did get to see Cyclops. We did get to see, oh, that's how he got his powers, and this was his life before meeting Xavier. But we didn't get to see that with Jean Grey. We didn't get to see what she gave up to become a mutant, and then on top of that, what she has to give up to become an X-Men kind of thing. It was just, Xavier like, oh yeah, Jean Grey, stop looking at me and help me, and she's like, oh yeah, I could stop
Do you think you need that? Do you think you need every single character to have an origin?
Not necessarily. Yeah, an origin and a motivation. Yeah.
So okay, so she has that nightmare scene.
Yeah.
Where she sees the end of the world, and even Flashes sees Apocalypse himself.
Yeah.
So she knows she knows better than anyone exactly what's going to happen if she doesn't stop him.
Yeah. But she, again, did nothing.
What do you mean she did
it took Xavier to say, yeah, please stop looking at me and do something.
True.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, I get that Xavier, he's looked into her and he knows her true power. No one else does. But then I'm still like, this Jean Grey, you've got a new Jean Grey, it's a new timeline and stuff. I want to see where she's coming from. What has she had to give up? What makes her a hero? Did she ever do anything good?
Yeah.
What did she do good?
She was like single-handedly responsible for killing Apocalypse.
Yeah, totally.
Supposedly
But before that, what did she do to make at least, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that she did as, oh yeah, you're a good guy. Yeah, I get it. She did this act, therefore she is from this background. Like, they put more attention in Storm, where she's running around with all these little kids and then
drinking a sweet Coke in Cairo. Yeah.
And then she's like running around and she causes a storm to happen.
Ooh.
And then all of the kids steal stuff and they all run away, and she seems to be like the leader of that. She seems to be trying to make her way with just the powers that she has, and she looks up to, I learned so much about Storm and so much about where she's coming from, more so than Jean Grey, and Jean Grey supposedly is the lead character. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I kind of wish they had spent that time on Jean Grey, sacrificed Storm, because just Storm looked awesome, so everyone was sold.
You're just on board straight away. You're
yeah,
like, cool white hair, bro.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah. If they just show, if as Apocalypse is picking up all of his horsemen, and then it just happens Storm was there, I'll be like, nice. I wouldn't argue.
I don't know. I think you're looking a bit too hard for something to criticise with that. Yeah. If I'm honest, I think because we all know the character. Yeah. We all know what she's doing and why she's where she is.
Yeah. It does get difficult moving forward with a lot of these superhero films. Because it's all being redone, and we don't want to hear origins anymore, or at least that's what filmmakers believe. But there's a new world, that these people live in, and how much of their past character is intact, and how much is new, and what is different, and
how much Halle Berry is left over.
Yeah, how much Halle Berry is left over in Storm, and when with this one they're showing none.
Yeah, true.
There's zero. She wasn't Egyptian in the previous one. I think she was just American.
No, she was meant to be, but Halle Berry couldn't do the accent, I think. Right. What did you think of Storm in this film?
Yeah, I'm talking about her a lot.
Yeah.
You could probably guess I absolutely loved her. I thought she was great.
Right, great. I thought she was good.
A bit lacking towards the end, but, it's highly populated with loads of different characters.
Yeah. Also, all of the Apocalypse upgrades everyone he touches.
Yeah.
What did he actually make Storm be able to do other than change her hairstyle?
Oh, right, yeah. I guess we didn't see... we know Magneto, we know his capabilities, and we knew he couldn't, suck up the Earth.
Yeah.
With Psylocke, we knew that she had a beam.
Psychic blade. Psionic blade.
Psionic blade. And then he made it so that she had a really tight-fitting suit. What?
Hello. I think Apocalypse Nut is a man who knows what he's into. He knows what he likes.
I bet his Psylocke was like, so what's my upgrade again? I've got the clothes, but I'm no better. He's like, no, trust me, you are.
You have contributions that others can't make.
he's just a massive perv this whole time. We haven't even realised. But I think possibly when she made that kind of staticky storm, that may have been the extent of her powers. And because she was cornered, she could have just flown away. They didn't have guns.
True.
And she didn't. So to me, kind of suggests, that was the extent of her power. She
had like a little bit of wind power.
Yeah.
Whereas now she's like straight up shooting lightning from her fingers. And flying. And so good point.
Yeah. Professor X. Actually, no. Let's carry on with Psylocke. We'll come back to Professor X and me.
Psylocke looked great. Not just from a pervy point of view. I mean, like, actually, her outfit looked great.
And I love the fluidity between, like, where her arm ends and the side beam lightsaber hand.
The lightsaber hand. It looked really good.
I like the colouring of it.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
Why not?
One scene in particular, she's fighting Beast. She's able to cut through a massive brick wall and then also wrap it around his neck with, him being fine.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't care.
Is it? Can you touch that?
Yeah, but that's because one was a sword and one was like a rope.
Yeah.
You didn't see her like cut through.
No. She does whip the rope. She does whip the brick wall in half, and then immediately after wraps it around his neck, and he's like, not decapitated.
Maybe it's just because they didn't want to decapitate Beast.
I'm being really picky with this.
This is nitpicking extraordinaire.
Yeah.
She didn't really have any lines. I think Bryan Singer has made excellent X-Men films. One thing that has always happened is some of his female characters have always been underplayed.
Okay.
So in this, there's Psylocke. In X-Men 2, there was female Wolverine with the fingernails. Kitty Pryde never got done justice.
That's a good point.
Blink, your favourite Blink.
Blink was amazing. She made that entire film.
Yeah, but this is just a nitpick. There were so many characters, someone was going to have to suffer.
Yeah.
And I mean...
And when you have Jennifer Lawrence, whose contract probably says, I need to have this many lines.
Yeah.
And this
when you got this many Oscar winners and nominees, this many famous characters...
You're not going to like, Olivia Munn, come on forward.
Yeah.
Let's hear your side of the story.
Yeah. But I mean, she pulled off the action scenes great as well. The fight with her and Beast was really cool.
Yeah, it was right.
She was just like believably tough.
I like the fact, weirdly in 2016, some films still shy away from a man hitting a woman. Although I guess it's a beast hitting a woman, but
I didn't even think of that. Yeah. He was like, "I'm going to take her down." Yeah, that's a good point.
Like she can handle herself.
That's that is a really good point. A lot of the time, they're like, "Well, there's a woman bad guy and a woman good guy. They have got to fight."
Yeah.
Whereas in this, you had that was a really good point. They had Beast against and then they had Storm against Cyclops as well.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal. It was just they kind of matched on powers rather than. Yeah.
What a good point! It's that everyone was there to play equally.
Yeah.
What a good point that is.
Thank you.
First one you've ever made.
Thanks. Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse. How did we feel?
You go first. I've been going first every time.
Okay. Apocalypse. Now, when we saw the promotional stuff, everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is the worst." And you're like, "Well, obviously they haven't fit." We had the exact same thing with the previous film with Quicksilver, and it really worked. Something I said to you before, like when you start the film and you see Mystique, and you're like, "Oh yeah, Mystique's blue." Then you see Nightcrawler, you're like, "Oh, Nightcrawler's blue." Wait, there's quite a few blue people in this.
Maybe there's something about the mutant gene that has like a blue theme.
And then when you see Oscar Isaac's character as blue. Although one thing I did think was possibly a bit unnecessary, but they kind of explain later on, is the idea of him kind of morphing between body to body. Mm-hmm. And unless, maybe we can discuss later, unless it's part, the reason why they had that was to say when Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse was going into James Xavier.
James Xavier.
Is his first name James?
Charles Xavier. James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's perfect.
I think that's his new name.
What a compliment.
Yeah. With Xavier, and he was going in, perhaps in the future, he's still there.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the hint.
Possibility, yeah. But, yeah, it was good. I liked a lot of his lines. I liked the way Oscar Isaac played it. It's very difficult to play a 3,000 plus year old man who thinks he's a god and thinks... Yeah, and he was coming from a totally different angle. He was like, destroying. Why was he destroying the world again? I feel like I should.
Because he was like, I come from a time when gods were worshipped. Now there's people just worship these false idols, blah blah blah. You said you really liked that when he first came back and he was speaking. They were like, "What the hell are you saying? Like, what language is that?"
Yeah. I said this before. Sorry. When he comes to and he's in Egypt and he knows the Egyptian language, and a lot of films we always, when people have certain languages, they always somehow learn to communicate with each other. There's very few films that do it well, and this one, bravo to them. That language changed over years, and although yes, it was Egyptian then, it's not what Egyptian people. Do some research on like how English has changed on the older Bibles. Yeah. Like it sounds so well. It sounds the same. I always imagine it as what a foreigner hears. How we sound is what Old English sounds.
Right. Yeah. So you kind of get it, but you're like,
yeah.
I still think the look could have been better, but after about 2 scenes, you kind of stop caring about that. You just accept it. Yeah. I thought they did well to make him actually really menacing.
Yeah.
Like the scenes when you just see his face and his eyes turn and stuff like that.
There was a lot of eyes turning and a lot of
That's an easy way to show someone exerting about turning their power on. What I liked as well, it was that he did the bare minimum to take people down, like the minimum effort. Yeah. Like the bit when he when he just beheads those 3 guys, because he's like, I could punish that, or I could just like, because it's just nothing to me. Yeah,
you're nothing to me. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and Oscar Isaac did do a lot to sell it. I completely forgot it was him underneath. Totally. Don't notice it's him, but he was he constantly acted like he was
above it all.
Yeah, which he was.
Yeah.
I thought he was actually a really well developed villain. Maybe just because he got a lot of screen time more than anything.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, surprisingly, got a lot of screen time. Yeah. Moving on. Who else we got? We've got my boy. For some reason, I'm fascinated with this guy, Ty Sheridan.
Right.
Who played Cyclops in this. Scott Summers. I'm fascinated by this guy, but I've never seen him in a film.
Right.
I just feel like he has such a look of like contempt. I feel like he is the young Harrison Ford, but how Harrison Ford acts now, he is already at the age of 19. He just always looks annoyed, and I love that, and I think it's great.
Like everything in his life is just inconvenient.
Yeah. I did have, I don't know, not really a criticism, but I was just left confused as to whether Scott Summer, is he cool? Is he accepted? Is he not?
Yeah.
Where is his kind of place? They never really teased about him. In the comics, he's typically the leader. They never really teased that, although he did probably show the most initiative, and he did. Yeah. He did give a few orders when it was just the 3 of them with
like get me in there, blah blah blah. Yeah,
and he was giving directions and that, which was nice. I guess they want to do it subtle, so later on.
Yeah. He becomes the leader, and him at the end.
Yeah, I knew you would say this.
Oh my god, when he turns around and he's in the suit and he's got the visor on. Yeah. I was just shaking with excitement. I was like, oh my god, it finally happened. Yeah. Bryan Singer, you've done it. He's definitely not going to be wearing it in the sequel. He'll be back in people clothes.
Listen, there was I'm really going to butcher this. It was a video done recently by another YouTuber. If I can remember, I'll put the link below. Where he was discussing why are they so against colours in X-Men in particular.
Apart from blue.
From blue or black or whatever's darker than black, that they always wearing these kind of leather outfits and these kind of like military outfits. It's like, can we please just get the colours in? And that was nice, and I hope that was just a tester. They were saying, if we did do like more comic inspired costumes, will the fans like it? Because Deadpool has shown, yes we bloody do. Not just in Deadpool's characters, in his costume, but with Colossus. Everyone loved him, and that was that was comic book accurate, and everyone was like, why have we not done this before? Yeah. The young girl,
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I knew you weren't going to get there. But...
Lega body booty, she had a yellow outfit on and looked amazing.
Yeah.
I was just like, can we please get the X-Men in the yellow?
Yeah.
Please.
And it's funny the outfits they think they can do and the ones they think they can't do. Like Psylocke, they're happy to do like slits up the leg showing full hip.
Yeah.
But Cyclops with a stripe down him.
Oh no.
Whoa.
That's crossing
or like
the line.
Wolverine with like yellow gloves. Whoa.
I mean, we got the smallest tease, and as well, it annoys me that they keep trying to like, oh, that's silly. You can't wear this, and they keep on showing these outfits. I'm like, who would wear that? You're like, no, please wear it.
Yeah.
Just once. I mean, and we got that. We kind of got that in the smallest way possible, but we did get that. Yeah. Who were we talking about?
Cyclops. But one thing as well before we move on, I love that this is the first film that they've shown him where you actually kind of see how powerful he is, like how crazy the beams that he make are.
Yeah.
Just like the opening scene of him where he pushes the toilet door off and like burns.
And that was the first use of it.
Yeah, that was like his baby legs.
Yeah.
When he cuts up that tree and stuff, and you were like, well, I don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah. I am looking forward to see how much more they push into that.
Yeah.
I liked the whole storyline with him and his brother. Although you were saying to me, if Havoc was in First Class.
Yeah. First Class is set. Let's be generous and say it's 15 years before.
It isn't, but carry on.
Right. He should be at least 35.
Yeah.
And he's still like that is one thing that they haven't done well.
Yeah.
Is
they're doing like every film is 10 years in the future.
So Michael Fassbender should be 20 years older than he was in First Class, and I get that it's kind of a difficult thing to do.
But it is Michael Fassbender as well.
And like Nicholas Hoult, he's meant to be 40 now.
Yeah,
and in Days of Future Past, Patrick Stewart is meant to be like 110. Like it kind of, but I kind of don't care, but I always notice it. For a few seconds, I'm always like, well,
wrong age. Yeah. Speaking of Nicholas Hoult, Beast, how do we feel?
I really like Beast as a character. I've read some comic book runs that I love him in, but I kind of get why he's sidelined a bit, because when you have these more powerful characters, what is he realistically going to do in a fight against Apocalypse? He had a great fight with Psylocke. I like that they actually showed him pick up that car and throw it. You see that he is really cool, but
I hope in the future that hangs his claws up and he keeps his blue form, and we see him move into the more political side of the X-Men and the overall acceptance, because we get that in the originals that are now not canon, whatever. That he is the kind of public face and the public trust because he's so intelligent and he helps humans with their human problems and with the mutant problems. I would love to see how he falls into that. That'd be great to see. Yeah. Speaking of blue people, Nightcrawler. I
really like Nightcrawler. Still yet to do a scene as good as that scene at the beginning of X-Men 2. But,
yeah,
let's forgive them. There were plenty of other things.
I was wondering, were they going to attempt to beat that scene, or were they just going to introduce him?
I think in the next one they should do a slow motion scene where it's one continuous shot and it's him and Quicksilver together going through, taking down loads of guys. That would be ultimate fan fantasy.
Yeah.
He was good. He was good comic relief. Is it Cody Smith McPhee? I think is the actor.
Bang on.
And he was good. He was good fun.
He's a good actor. He knows what he's doing. I liked how they still kept the religious element. He was praying a lot. But they didn't make a big deal out of it.
His fight with Angel, when they were just... And I like that they set it up right at the start and had like round 2 at the end. And
you kind of get glimmers of the red one in First Class,
Azazel,
sorry. We've seen someone at kind of end level talent with that teleportation and that tail. How many people he can wipe out instantly without breaking a sweat. And then you kind of get the hint of that at the beginning when he's fighting Angel. That he's like, oh, don't want to fight. And then he gets pushed. And then he does fight. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no. I've like broken your wing. I'm sorry. But you can see that, this guy, once he kind of toughens up a bit, he is some serious,
they got to get him a sword.
Damage.
They got to get him a rapier.
Moving on, Jubilee.
Just what was the point?
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Barely in it. Yeah. Rose Byrne's character is Moira McTaggart.
I was convinced she was going to die. Because I was sure she was going to die.
Yeah, we did do a predictions videos who would die. We only got one right, being Havoc.
That was me. Yeah, I would like to say thank you.
Moira McTaggart.
Yeah, fine. Just served a purpose.
I thought it was so. I was like, oh my god, are they in love? What? When did this happen?
And then
I felt like I wasn't part of that whole love story, and that just kind of happened.
What happened in First Class?
Yeah.
Then we didn't see her for a film.
Yeah.
And now she's back.
And now she's back, and he's like, yeah, I love her. I've loved her this whole time. I'm like, did you?
It's been 20 years. Although Cerebro is like the ultimate Facebook stalk. Like, he can just follow her around.
Yeah.
He can see her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool and weird.
Go on, sorry.
With Charles Xavier's character, that we can see his younger, less noble self.
Yeah.
And he's just a dog.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
The one thing I think is she was with them for like a couple of weeks while everything happened. What's happening with her son? Like, they made a big deal about her having a kid.
Yeah.
And then she just left the country.
Yeah. And what about her job? I guess it's CIA, but she didn't call him once. Like, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And as well, did they just like abduct her or something? I guess she must have just said, I'm off on official business. It's not. I did think that kind of love story was just like, they were like, oh yeah, the last time she was in it, they kissed, didn't they?
Yeah, a little bit of that. Also, she can't make it to like further down the line, can she? I don't want like old Professor Xavier happy and in love with Moira McTaggart.
Right. I don't know. Maybe that's why they've reminded us of that relationship, just to take it away.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on to the meteor. The big guys.
The big guys.
Moving first with the fan favourite, Evan Peters.
Evan Peters as Quicksilver. Yeah, great. I love that they saw how much people liked him in Days of Future Past. And they were like, well, let's give him a bigger part.
Yeah.
And something that you always say is that in every X-Men film, Professor Xavier gets Xaviered.
Yeah.
In that they like take him out of the action, otherwise it's over instantly. And they did that with Quicksilver when they had his leg get broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was.
I did like that part because I was, getting to the point. I was like, yeah, why doesn't Quicksilver just beat him up?
Yeah.
And then he does.
And you're like,
oh yeah, he can just like freeze his foot and then just break it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was great. His scene was great fun. Him rescuing them all. All but one.
Awkward.
Yeah. But yeah, and I like that no matter how serious the stakes got, he was always just having fun. Like,
totally.
Like his character never ever changed.
No.
Never.
And the time it was about to get serious, he just like, no.
Yeah, like the X-Mansion was about to blow up, and he was like, pfft.
Yeah, like it was
it's almost the end of the world, and he goes over and like smirks at Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like it's he's cool. Great. I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah. Professor X, James McAvoy.
You go first. I've been going first a lot.
Yeah, he's great.
I agree. He brings it every time. Basically.
Yeah, he brings it every time. I see one of the kind of overall criticism I have of this with X-Men, and it's difficult to do with ensemble casts like this. We have such a big cast. That you can have certain actors, and the next person we're going to talk to, especially, talk about that people like James McAvoy. This is so easy for them, and they are really good actors, and then the fact that not only is this film kind of weirdly beneath them, but they don't see it that way, and they're like, I'm 100% on board. I'm so glad to be having this role, and unlike how I felt Jennifer Lawrence kind of pulled, just did a simple like say my lines. I felt James McAvoy really gave it his all in this, and it just then, if everyone else can't reach that level, because some of the actors in this can't reach a level that James McAvoy and Fassbender can, and reach some of the dramatic heights. And when you have McAvoy and Fassbender bringing it so hard, it makes everyone else like, oh right, yeah, you're in this film as well. Yeah, I forgot.
Well, the reason that genre films started getting taken more seriously is because people like Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart were in them and treated them as if they were in like a Shakespeare play or something. They treated these characters as characters, and now that tradition, and now every Marvel film pretty much has an actor in it who you're like, what a great actor. Or like 2 or 3, and I mean like that general audiences take seriously, not fanboys. Totally. And that is that he carries it. James McAvoy, he literally brings it every time. Great to see him bald as well. Great to see
great
him
explanation of why he was bald. Although, is it permanent?
Permanent. Maybe he saw it and was like, "Ooh, good look."
And then it's like,
That's
yeah,
a
I like
good
this.
look for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad as well as the actor, he actually shaved off his hair. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Moving on to my favourite,
Mine.
possibly yours, yeah. Michael Fassbender as Magneto, absolutely killing
yeah.
it.
Yeah. One of the first things we said after watching it was how he, like, how does he do it every time? Like, every time he's in something.
But it's the weirdest thing, because the better he does, the worse the film looks. Because he's so good. How can anyone and even when he's got some challenging dialogue, like the scene when his daughter and his wife had died, and the dialogue would work better on a comic, I felt, because it's very like to the point, on the nose. Yet I'm still sitting there like, oh, Fassbender, why are you so good?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he just whipped this out, and he's just there. And when he's saying these words, I can feel the emotion of that scene and every scene and everything bad that's happened to the character in the past and everything that will happen to him in the future. And it's just great. He's just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And
when Apocalypse takes him to Auschwitz, and you see him,
that's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah,
I really think you should
taking a Polish Jew to Auschwitz is
I
not
think
a
you
good
shouldn't do that.
No, but just the way he starts off, just being like, "Why have you brought me here?" Like that, and what he turns into, the way when he starts like tearing up the ore from the earth and stuff. Yeah. And then you just sort of see in his face, like, he's almost a bit afraid of what he can do.
Yeah.
He's
brilliant, yeah. I mean, the only kind of negative thing, but it's not really Fassbender's fault, it's more to push along the story. I felt the whole him bringing up the Earth's core storyline was to add a time limit to the end events. Yeah. Because Apocalypse has already destroyed Egypt, apparently. He's made a new pyramid. He's destroyed the whole city.
True.
And he's made a new pyramid, and he wants to transfer into Professor X's mind so then he can control everyone. So why does he need to destroy the core? Can't he do that later? You know what I mean?
Why didn't he just do it quietly in an Airbnb? Like, just transfer his consciousness somewhere really subtly.
Yeah. Why don't they just kidnap him? Get Who was the one teleporting, by the way? Was that Psylocke?
No, that's Apocalypse.
That's Apocalypse, yeah. Because it was all purple, and then she's wearing purple. I was like, wait a second.
Well, they're both purple, so it only makes sense.
Yeah. It's, obviously we can find plot holes like that. It wouldn't have got us to the ending, but I do wish Magneto in the end that he wasn't just in some trance, just there like, oh, I have to do this because it's like, no, but aren't you ruling this world? What's the point of what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop.
I do it does annoy me a little bit that they can always rely on Magneto to become a good guy. like ultimately, like no, eventually he's gonna come around. Like in the first films, he was always the bad guy. Yeah. And I kind of like that Fassbender is a bit more of a grey area. Yeah. But they can kind of always they can count on him. So when it comes to the crunch, he's going to be like, Xavier.
What do you think of the massive 2X?
Oh man, that was the cheesiest moment. I can see why they thought it was great, but it was a bit silly. Yeah. But there's also one shot that is completely stuck in my mind when he's chucking all the metal down at him, and it's like side on, and it just looks exactly like a panel. Yeah, I don't know if you know the shot. Anyway, it's just a little thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was amazing.
He stole the whole film in my eyes. Really strong beginning. Film. I loved his daughter in it as well, and I loved the abilities that she had.
Yeah.
And the great hint of that Magneto's children are super powerful. Yeah. Like, she can control nature. Yeah. Like, that's insane. She can just get all these animals to attack whoever.
It's lucky that they didn't kidnap her at a zoo.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have been in trouble.
They would have been in for it, yeah. And the arrow through both of their hearts, great.
Oh, man. That shot though, like even with all the birds, he had the perfect aim. Like, poor guy origin story.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, he's dead now, but I thought Fassbender was the best thing in this by far. Other than the whole like, I'm in a glass case of emotion, with a metal sphere of discontent. But thought it was great. Yeah. I thought a lot of these actors were really good. Bit upsetting. Not understanding motivation for every single one, but how many actors is this?
Who have we not discussed? Angel.
Yeah,
Angel was good.
Angel's right.
Angel looked fine.
Yeah, he looked fine. I don't feel as though his character was supposed to do any more.
No.
You know, I felt like they were just like, oh, we need a fourth horseman.
Yeah, there was him, there was Apocalypse and Magneto, and the rest were kind of just there to fill in the spots.
Definitely. Overall, loved the film. Not loved, really liked,
Yeah?
Yeah.
So something I did notice, there were some pretty ropey effects in it. Some of it looked incredible.
Anything specific? I can't remember.
There's one shot of the X-Mansion right at the end when they're rebuilding it that looks really dodgy.
Oh, right.
There's one shot of Psylocke running where I was like, it looked like a
when
PS2
Angel's
video
like,
game.
yo, Psylocke!
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm running!
Yeah.
Like a robot.
Like of all the things as well, running you'd think would be a really simple animation to do.
And they just, like she was doing too large of a step for the frame of her body.
I think it's almost like there were a lot of visual effects in this film, and it's almost like they didn't have enough time for it.
Yeah, there was one in particular for myself, actually, now you've reminded me, was when they were showing how everything is now back to normal, and we go to a shipyard. And And I was like, have they forgot to render that?
It's just the blue shapes.
Yeah, it's just blue blocks. It was like you doing the first layer, second layer, third layer, and then like we'll add on the lighting and the.
Oh crap! I totally forgot. Like the guy whose job it was like, oh my god, they're sending away like the copies of it. Yeah, it's
just like, well, I guess we've got to live with that.
But on the other hand, there were some effects like Psylocke's blade looked amazing.
Psylocke's blade was amazing.
The Nightcrawler, the shot when Nightcrawler teleports and you see that was blew my mind.
I wish they had done that a bit more because you just suddenly like, oh my god, that's how he sees the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome, and they always get his teleporting spot on, and it was again done spot on, and you got that kind of he was Nightcrawler for a reason, and that kind of flash. Yeah.
And I like that I like that some of them still wear makeup, and still wear like X-Men. Was a big thing about them was that they had prosthetics and stuff. And I like that you had Nightcrawler still with all that. You had Beast with all that.
Yeah.
I thought it was good that some of them still...
Yeah, it wasn't just CGI. Like CGI Beast would have been weird.
Yeah, I mean, not that I'm hugely against it. Yeah. But
yeah, totally.
Where would you rank it in the X-Men films? Have you seen them all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we got? It's below First Class and Days of Future Past. And Deadpool.
Okay.
So it's the best out of all the crap ones.
One thing we haven't spoken about before we get to this.
Oh yeah, Wolverine.
The Wolverine scene.
Yeah.
I wish it hadn't been in the trailer.
Yeah.
I kind of knew he was going to turn up, but it would have been a really nice surprise.
I feel as though they put it in the trailer because they were like, oh, people don't love this like we thought. Get Wolverine out.
I think as well, they saw the Civil War trailer where Spider-Man turned up at the end and they were like, you know what would get people equally as excited as that? Yeah.
He did have a cool scene. I liked it. It was fun. And then he just kind of ran off into the wilderness.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And kind of hints towards, the future possibilities. Yeah. But we're going to discuss in another video all of the future kind of what's the aftermath of this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. For me, I think this might be my favourite X-Men. Wow. I absolutely loved it. I mean, I saw it for the first time like 2 days ago, and then I've already seen it twice. Yeah. And I love it. I think probably in a year I'll look back and say it's not as good as Days of Future Past or X-Men 2. But I'm so surprised there's been such a mixed reception for it.
Yeah. I'm not surprised there is. I can see
Actually, I agree.
I can see if you're not an X-Men fan, then you're gonna be more critical of it. And if you are more critical of it, there are problems. Yeah, right? Accept it, Todd. There are.
I do accept, and actually, I think if like the people I mention all the time on this channel, if my parents watched it, I don't think they'd like it.
Yeah.
Actually, my dad would. He loves Cyclops, and he's always like, "Why don't they ever do Cyclops right?"
Well, on that bombshell, I think we'll call it an end.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. Do share your comments on what you thought of the film. I hope you liked this spoiler discussion. If you think we should do more spoiler discussions, let us know in the comments below because we're thinking about doing a bit more. Yeah, why not? Yeah. I've been James Forbes.
And I've been Todd James.
Bye.
Oh no, it's raining. like, oh no, my powers.
My fire, please. And the Captain America's there like, hold it. Hold it.
Only a super powerful character wearing the Infinity Gauntlet would come and say, "Oh, it's Adam Warlock." Yeah.